At first, I attributed this to age and mild fatigue, a little dizziness after climbing the stairs, a heaviness in my chest that quickly passed. But then, the day came when a regular breakfast almost turned into a disaster. I was 67 years old when I found myself in the hospital with a suspected heart attack. I did not consume alcohol, I did not smoke, and I considered myself to be a fairly healthy person. However, the cardiologist bluntly stated that I was slowly destroying my heart with what I ate every day. This moment radically changed my life. That was when I learned about Dr. Leo Beccaria, a man who not only saved many lives but also remained vigorous, clear-minded, and full of energy at the age of 90. Every day, he consumes something simple that cleanses the vessels, supports heart health, and extends life. But this is just the beginning, as it turned out that there are two products that daily destroy your vessels, even if you are unaware of it. Excluding them from your diet could gift you additional years of life. And one habitual ritual, shared by his colleague Dr. Michael DeBakey, can literally reboot your heart. If you strive to maintain your health, a clear mind, and live without pills, by watching this video until the end, you will learn 7 simple yet brilliant secrets that can help extend your life and possibly add years to it. If you already care about your health, join our community of seniors where we discuss important and honest topics. We create this content specifically for you, but remember, the most destructive habits are still ahead. So let's start with the first secret, without which no morning passes for Dr. Bakery. Number 1. 2 days in 1. Why does Bakery always wake up before 6 in the morning? Dr. Leo Bakery often claims that those who rise early live as if they experience 2 days in 1. For many, this is just a beautiful phrase, but for him, it is the secret of longevity. He began waking up before 6 in the morning in his youth, and since then, this ritual has become a constant habit for him. Not due to fashion, but because he felt its benefits. The morning hours provide the body and mind with something special. This is the time when the body and heart work quietly but more deeply, when blood flows more evenly, when thoughts are clear, and energy cleanses any cup of coffee. He did not just wake up early, he did it with purpose every day. He joked that because of this, he lived not 90 but 180 years. But there is a grain of truth in this joke, which is confirmed by research. Waking up early reduces morning stress levels, improves heart function, and restores biological rhythms. Waking up late after midnight not only disrupts your routine, but also harms your vessels, and the scariest part is that you may not even realize it. How we wake up is how we live. Bakery emphasizes, go to bed before 11 and wake up before 6. And within a week, you will feel how your body breathes differently. But if you continue to sleep until 9 and miss the morning rhythm, you are robbing yourself every day, and no one can return that time to you. But this is just the first step. There is one habit that seems harmless, but can act as a catalyst for a heart attack. If you continue reading and find these tips helpful, leave the words "morning" in the comments to emphasize how morning rituals can change the entire day. If you are not subscribed yet, I recommend doing so to support our work. Your support allows us to continue creating inspiring and informative content. So, let's move on. The second dangerous morning habit that most people do not think about. Every morning, millions of people make the same mistake. They wake up, head to the kitchen, and the first thing they do is pour themselves a cup of strong coffee. This ritual seems essential to wake up, but Dr. Bakery warns that it can be deadly. Drinking coffee on an empty stomach, especially after a poor night's sleep, takes a toll on the body. Caffeine stimulates the nervous system, sharply raises blood pressure, and increases heart rate. If the stomach is empty, it becomes a double blow. Irritation of the mucous membrane begins, excess acid is produced, and the heart receives a distress signal. This starts a chain of events that can lead to a heart attack or stroke. A 74-year-old woman from Mendoza drank black coffee every morning without breakfast for many years. This was a routine for her until one day she woke up in the hospital after fainting. Doctors diagnosed her with vascular spasms caused by a sudden spike in blood pressure, and she was lucky to avoid more serious consequences. Not everyone gets a second chance. Dr. Bakery strongly advises drinking a glass of warm water first. This simple action kickstarts metabolism, awakens the heart, and prepares the stomach. Then a light breakfast, and only after half an hour, one can allow themselves coffee if it is absolutely necessary. Everything should follow the right sequence. Morning haste can be too costly, especially in older age. But even worse is when coffee becomes the only breakfast. Dr. Bakery is also concerned that people completely abandon morning physical activity and explains why this is important. Third, there are indispensable exercises that prevent the formation of blood clots. We rarely think about the importance of mobility, but with age, every morning without movement brings us closer to blood stagnation, the formation of clots, and loss of joint flexibility. Dr. Bakery puts it simply, morning exercises are not about sports, they are about life. He never starts his day without a few simple exercises. No complicated workouts, just neck rotations, arm movements, bends, and leg lifts. Anything that gets the blood flowing and awakens the body. These movements take no more than 5 minutes, but their effect is comparable to medicine. Warmed-up muscles improve circulation, activate the brain, relieve nighttime tension from the spine and joints, and most importantly, prevent the formation of clots. There is a story from Virginia about a 76-year-old man, a former accountant. After retiring, he stopped being active, spending all his time in front of the television screen. A year later, he had to undergo his first surgery on his blood vessels, followed by a second one. He thought he was resting, but in reality, his body was slowly deteriorating from inactivity. Now, each morning begins with a 5-minute workout, and he claims it feels like a rebirth. He feels alive again. Dr. Beccaria emphasizes that one must start small. Even if it is difficult, one can do exercises while sitting. The main thing is to move. This is not a workout, but a signal to the heart. I am alive, I am active, everything is fine. But there is one more action that Beccaria considers equally significant, and at first glance, it may seem strange. However, it can change your mood and therefore your health in the morning. If you are still watching this video and find the advice helpful, leave the word movement in the comments, as it is what makes your heart beat every morning. Now let's move on to the next point, light affirmations. A smile in front of the mirror extends life. It may seem that a smile can't change anything, especially in the morning when you have just woken up. Your body has not yet recovered from sleep, and your mood is absent. But it is precisely in such moments, according to Dr. Beccaria, that you need to do one simple thing. Smile at your reflection in the mirror, even if you don't feel like it and have no mood. Why is this important? It is simple. When you tense the facial muscles responsible for smiling, the brain receives a signal. Everything is fine. Dopamine, endorphins, the hormones of joy and relaxation begin to be produced. Stress levels decrease, and stress, as Beccaria emphasizes along with his colleague Michael DeBakey, is the #1 enemy of the heart. It destroys blood vessels, accelerates aging, and leads to heart attacks, even in those who eat properly. One elderly woman from Pennsylvania shared that she started each day with this ritual. She looked in the mirror and told herself, "You can do it. You will succeed." At first it seemed silly, but after a couple of weeks, she felt her mood improve, energy increase, irritability disappear, and most importantly, her blood pressure decreased. We often do not realize the impact of our emotional state, but the body and mind work together. A smile is not just a facial expression. It is a command to the body to live longer, and the more often you give it, the stronger your heart becomes. But remember, All of this works only when the body receives what it truly needs, and breakfast is precisely the moment where many make a fatal mistake. Let's move on to the next point, the true breakfast of longevity, and it is not what you might think. Dr. Beccaria states clearly that breakfast is the foundation. Everything you do throughout the day will be based on it. But what happens if there is no foundation? The body starts to deteriorate, and you may not even realize why. Many begin their day with a sandwich, cereal from a box, or even skip breakfast altogether, and then complain about fatigue, sugar spikes, blood pressure issues, and anxiety. This is not a coincidence. It is a consequence. The first meal of the day in the morning has a significant impact on metabolic processes, brain activity, hormonal balance, and the cardiovascular system. Dr. Bakery has started his day for many years with a carefully selected breakfast. It includes simple porridge, a little butter, a boiled egg, and fresh fruit. This food is easily digestible, nourishes the body without overloading it, and even helps improve the condition of the blood vessels. The story of a woman, a former teacher aged 69, confirms this. She suffered from chronic fluctuations in blood pressure and headaches. On the advice of her doctor, she changed her morning diet, giving up coffee and adding porridge, eggs, and fruit. After 3 months, her blood pressure normalized, her headaches disappeared, and she did not need new medications, just a change in breakfast. Dr. Bakery considers breakfast a system reboot. Skipping the morning meal can lead to instability throughout the day, provoking overeating, sharp fluctuations in blood sugar levels, and fatigue. However, even a healthy breakfast will not protect you if you continue to consume foods that are harmful to the heart. Dr. Michael DeBakey, an outstanding cardiac surgeon, lived nearly to 100 years old, avoiding trendy diets and supplements. He strictly excluded fatty meats and oils from his diet, especially after the age of 50. He claimed that frying is the worst thing you can do for your blood vessels. Cooking with oil, especially animal fat, coats the arteries with an invisible film, which over time narrows their lumen, making them fragile. This can lead to thrombosis, strokes, and heart attacks. A 72-year-old veteran from Texas was used to eating fried meat every day, believing it was a source of strength, until he faced heart failure and ended up in intensive care. After surgery to clear his blood vessels and the installation of a stent, he eliminated oils and fatty meats from his diet. Now he admits that if he had known this earlier, he could have avoided surgery. DeBakey recommended steaming, baking, and consuming more vegetables, not only for the taste, but also for safety. The less food is subjected to thermal processing, the easier it is for the heart to handle. He was not against meat, but against fat, especially after the age of 50, when metabolism slows down and blood vessels become more vulnerable. He often emphasized that every fried patty is another step toward surgery. It is better to avoid those steps, but even nutrition is not the most important thing. There is one ritual that can revive the heart, even if you change nothing in your diet. This ritual was mentioned by both DeBakey and Bakery. It is a wonderful walk, just 30 minutes, capable of changing everything. Dr. DeBakey began his day with a walk, regardless of the season, even at 4 in the morning. He was convinced that movement is oxygen for the heart. Not the gym, not marathons, not intense workouts to the point of sweating, but simply a calm walk. He said that if a walk could be packaged into a pill, it would be the most expensive medication in the world. Research confirms that just 30 minutes a day can reduce the risk of heart attacks by half. And if you combine a leisurely pace with brisk walking, circulation improves. Blood vessels become more elastic, and the heart becomes more resilient. A 78-year-old resident of Illinois shared that she had long suffered from insomnia, high blood pressure, and anxiety. After her doctor advised her to walk daily, she began going for walks twice a day, in the morning and before bed. Within a month, her sleep became deeper, her blood pressure normalized, and most importantly, she felt a sense of control over her body again. Bacteria and Debaki agree on one thing. Movement is life. Without it, even the healthiest diet cannot save you. But with it, you can transform the state of your entire body. But what if you were told that there is a product that not only supports health, but also literally cleanses blood vessels like a brush? This was known by another legendary heart surgeon who lived to be 98 years old. If you are still watching and find this advice important, write the word "walk" in the comments. Let this be your first step towards change. Now, let us continue. Dr. L. Svardvorki, the legendary heart surgeon who lived to be 98 years old, maintaining a clear mind and the ability to drive, was convinced that the secret to his longevity lay in a plant-based diet. He did not just eat vegetables for the sake of a diet. He consumed one product daily because it cleanses blood vessels like a toothbrush: whole grain cereal. Every morning, he would start his day with a bowl of such cereal soaked in soy milk, adding fresh fruits, a few nuts, and orange juice. Simple, but it is the fiber in whole grains that acts like an internal broom, helping to remove cholesterol, eliminate toxins, and cleanse the walls of blood vessels from plaque that could lead to a heart attack in the future. Bacteria said he had seen hundreds of patients with amputated fingers and feet due to blocked blood vessels. He did not want to be among them, so he began changing his diet at the age of 50. Since then, he eliminated red meat, fat, and sugar, preferring beans, vegetables, and nuts. He even divided his dinner into two parts. One he ate in the evening, and the other he saved for the morning to avoid overeating and overloading his heart. One day he said, "I do not know health problems. I just keep living." His story is not a miracle. It is the result of discipline, mindfulness, and the power of habits. Nevertheless, there is another key takeaway that unites Bacteria, Debaki, and Svardvorki. Our hearts function based on how we live, and it all starts with small decisions, one habit, one step. If you are still watching this video and find these recommendations helpful, please write the word "power" in the comments so I know you are with us until the end. If you are not yet subscribed, I recommend you join the community of seniors and turn on notifications. Your support allows us to continue creating quality content that inspires and enlightens you. Take care of your heart, as you only have one. See you in the next video. With age comes the understanding that health is not just medicine, but a way of life, something we do every day. It is not about once a week or starting on Monday, but rather right now. Each of the heroes in this video, whether they are bakers, debaters, or orcs, has lived a long and fulfilling life. Not thanks to medications, but because they timely rejected the harmful and chose the beneficial. Do not wait for a diagnosis or symptoms, because when they appear, it means your body has been sending you signals for a long time, and you have been ignoring them. Do not neglect yourself. Perhaps you have long wanted to change your diet, but did not know where to start. Or you have a yoga mat that you have not used in months. Maybe, looking in the mirror, you think it is too late, but that is not true, as long as it is not yet. If you are not subscribed yet, I recommend joining our channel and supporting us. Your support helps us continue creating valuable content that inspires and enlightens you. Until we meet again in the next video.